Hi guys, just Matt here, just shooting a little video with Kev this afternoon. Kev recently took part in our 6-week challenge, got some great results, and obviously we also want to sort of share his experience with you. For those of you who are maybe thinking that you want to get started as well. So thanks for jumping on, Kev. Appreciate that.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So Kev, just give us a little insight into kind of what it was. Why did you want to start? What was it what motivated you? What kind of got you thinking, oh, I need to do something. I want to do something.
I've got a background of having been quite a big fella and a desk jockey and sales rep, and got very out of shape as middle-aged spread kicked in back in the day. And did manage to get myself quite fit then, but I've recently moved to the West Country, new job. And whilst I live a fairly active life, I live out on the edge of the moors, and I was getting to the point where I was thinking, I'm not really fit enough to enjoy this. I've got all this mountain biking, river swimming, beaches, hiking, and I'm getting out of breath. I'm struggling with some of the hills in Devon. I need a granny ring on the bike. I had to buy another one of them. And motivation is a great thing. But I think I actually got this line off you, Matt, but commitment is really what makes the difference. We can all be motivated, but it's bloody easy to welch on a motivation. And signing up to your challenge really helped me. That sort of the Blast Kickstart program, having that commitment to turn up 3 times a week, having that commitment to have the online Zoom workout sessions as well, that really, that makes the motivation happen. We've all got the motivation, but when you've got to be there at 6 in the morning and get on, that really kicked it for me. And it did exactly as it said on the tin. I got a kickstart. I got some very good results. With the various apps for calorie counting, they were much better than the ones I'd used in the past. The nutrition site on Facebook I found really helpful, because again, there's a commitment, and it's not all about drizzling sauce and presentation and jus. It's just about being honest about what you're eating and how much you're eating, and actually just looking at those proportions of carbs and proteins and so on. And I've done a bit of this before, and I'm a geek, so I tend to quite often look at diets quite, I won't say cynically, because that's not healthy, skeptically. But your diet advice chimes a lot with a lot of mine, in that, I think if you're maxing out on green vegetables, fresh fruit, fresh veg, decent lean protein, you're getting all the nutrients and calories you need. My old idea was always just less beige stuff. If it's white or beige, it's probably not good.
Yeah.
So I think then diet-wise, it chimed with a lot of my own thinking, which was really good. It is, in terms of things that I found difficult was with a lot of the stuff I've done in the past, trying to get my wife on board with not eating any bread, any spuds, any rice or whatever has been quite difficult. But your scheme seemed to be a bit more family friendly. It went down quite well with her.
Cool. I think that is important as well, isn't it? That you do, whilst obviously everybody to do, exactly what you want to do. If you can make their life a little bit easier by not having to cook 6 different meals in the evening, then it does help you, doesn't it?
Well, it kind of helps in that I don't do a lot of housework, but I do a lot of the cooking. So
okay,
I can dictate what's on in the evening. My top tip for anyone out there is get into cauliflower couscous, because it's better than standard couscous anyway. Once you've got that nailed, you won't go back to normal couscous, and it's so much healthier, and it's actually better. I even converted my 80-year-old dad to cauliflower couscous this year.
Right.
And he hates anything weird and newfangled like that. So that's a good one. In terms of the exercises, yeah, you pushed me quite well. I'm still not enjoying trying to do press-ups, I must admit. I'm a big fella, for anybody out there who's looking at me with this very flattering camera angle after the makeup people have done their job, I'm a big fella. I'm not fit. I came into this program the wrong side of 20 stone. I'm 6'4", so I carry it fairly well. But I'd shed the best part, nigh on a couple of stone by the end of the challenge. Did about 24 pounds, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was definitely it was over 12 kilos. So yeah. for those
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So and I tend to work in kilos. I'm trying to convert into old money for all of you weird English people. That's not the method of counting I was brought up with. But yeah, the exercise regime I found really good because it was full body and it was mostly body weight. I've got a spectacular history of being a bull at a gate and injuring myself wonderfully when I've decided to get fit. Classic midlife crisis, start running, shin splints, stress fractures, start down the gym, rotator cuffs torn in the pool, all the rest of it, done all of that. And you learn it the hard way. Whereas if you go at it like a bull at a gate yourself with some random online program, that's going to happen. If you go with someone like Matt and do a Blast Fitness, I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up your ear, Matt. You're good at it. You take an interest in everyone who's along at these sessions. You look at when people are doing exercises wrong, say what's hurting, adjust what they're doing. And that's really key. If there was one thing that I said that as a middle-aged fat bloke that was really important to me was you would notice him when I'd injured something and I'd pulled something and I was moving a bit funny, and you'd adjust the exercises so I didn't aggravate it and make it worse.
Yeah.
Very important. Because if you just keep going, you can wind up injuring yourself so bad you're then on the couch eating pies and drinking Coke again while you wait to get better, and that doesn't work.
No, I think I seem to remember you'd done something at the weekend, like lifted a caravan by yourself or something, and did something.
That was the attempt, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we sort of just briefly touched on results and stuff like that, Kev. Like for you, obviously, yes, 12 kilos, great, lost some weight, which is hugely beneficial for a number of reasons, which obviously many people already know it, but like joint health, cardiovascular health, etc., risk of metabolic diseases, all those things, like losing weight and inches and stuff around the middle is vital for you. What outside of that, obviously we're going to sort of carry on working together again soon. Like what sort of things did you find beneficial that aren't necessarily measurable results, should we say?
In my job is I walk a lot in my job, so I'm a farm consultant. So at the moment I'm out there in Wellington slopping across recently drilled and planted fields. So I'm walking across uneven ground for work, and it's always a pleasure to be outside and have an active job like that. But when it's muddy and sticky, it can be quite hard work. And not measuring it, but I've noticed that the dogs are tiring out quicker than I am, which didn't happen before I came along. So I'm enjoying work more. I'm enjoying play a bit more as well. I wouldn't say I'm where I want to be yet, but I'm fitter. I'm out on the bike more. Big thing for me was I didn't have to buy a new pair of leathers for the motorbike because I could do them up again. Very expensive things, it's better to get some weight off and fit back into them than get a new pair. Yeah. So that's been quite nice, though. It doesn't do much for your cardiovascular when you're riding horsepower bike. But the push bikes have been getting a good bit of an airing on them more. Cool. I've even bought myself some trail running shoes and started going for the odd walk run type affair with a few friends around Burrator, which is more of a social. We go at the pace of the slowest bloke, which is definitely me. I fit that fat lad at the back description for now, but it's quite good. There's no way I would have thought of running a year ago. I've got like an artificial hip and all the rest, so joint health is a key part of it for me.
Yeah,
and that doesn't hurt. The non-replaced hip has stopped hurting.
Okay,
that's a big thing because that was starting to twinge. That was another big motivator that I didn't mention in our earlier section.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing to know. So, what would you say, Kev? Obviously, I don't want to keep you here all day. But what would you say to anybody who's maybe thinking or watching this video, thinking that the kind of usual thoughts like, "Oh, I'm not fit enough to do this," or "I'm not like I'm going to wait until all my dominoes are in line before I have a go at this." What would you say to anybody who's maybe sat there on the fence, shall we say?
Yeah, well, you don't get fit on the fence, do you? You just get splinters. The simple thing is,
love it.
You can think about these things a lot, and we can all think, we can all read, we can all watch motivational YouTube videos, we can all go out and do that classic thing of buy all the gear, new pair of running shoes, new mountain bike, new set of golf clubs. It's not going to improve your swing. Doing it, it's action that is the key thing.
Yeah.
And where most people fall down, and where I personally, I can't speak for the world, but speaking from my experience, busy person, life, all the rest of it, it's actually putting all of these thoughts and intentions and motivations into action, and you need a commitment. A financial commitment does make you do it a little bit, but I mean, there's a lot of gyms out there. I've had a couple of friends who've run gyms, and they say, yeah, we make most of our money in the first 2 months of the year. Everybody signs up New Year with a resolution. We see them for 4 weeks, don't see them again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ridiculous, but it does illustrate how people don't commit. So with a decent personal trainer or set of trainers like there are at Blast, so it's quite nice when you're not around, or on a different day you've got young Harry and he does things in a slightly different way, so it changes it up, keeps it fresh, keeps you all stimulated.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. But I mean, if you're thinking about it, stop thinking. Don't bugger around, do it. You're not going to get fit sitting on the couch watching YouTube. You've got to get there, get the commitment, put the action in. And it's you can't say you're not fit enough, because I mean, look at the state of me. I'm still a fat middle-aged bloke, but I'm a lot less than I was when I came along to you. And yeah, I was definitely the slowest, puffiest, huffiest person on the team, but no one cares. No one's looking at you. We're all in it. We're all sweaty. We're all hurting and hyperventilating by the end of 3/4 of an hour on a weekday morning. And it's a great way to start the day. You're fired up for work, then the blood's flowing. It's better than any coffee you'll ever have.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think like, I get a real buzz off of it.
That's what it's at.
Yeah, brilliant. Awesome, Kev. Well, listen, thanks for sharing your initial experience with us. I really appreciate that, because ultimately, our success is determined by you guys getting results and enjoying your experience. And so yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you again soon, mate.
No, well, thank you very much, and you certainly will. I've got about 1 more week of busy work, and I'll be back in touch. Brilliant. Thanks, Matt.
Cheers, buddy.